Service Ayalon joins me from Haifa. Ayalon, welcome back to the program. Does Israel want to be in a forever war, as Prime Minister Netanyahu appears to indicate?
Well, when you say Israel, it's a very complicated term, because Israel today is not the identity of our government or our prime minister. Our government is built on a coalition system, and a minority are leading our policy today. So Israel is a tribal society, and all what I can say, I do not represent the state of Israel or the people of Israel. All what I can say is my personal views on try to explain what are we doing and where should we go from here.
Well, let me give you a question on where you should go from here, responding to your Prime Minister, who also said in this interview that it's all a question of buffer zones, and that for the foreseeable future, if not forever, there needs to be Israeli buffer zones, not on Israeli territory, but on the other territory, like Lebanon, I guess the West Bank, Gaza, elsewhere, Syria. Is that something that Israel should do?
No, I totally disagree, and I want to say something about the concept of 1,000 days of this war. In order to understand the reality in Israel and the way we Israelis see our reality, you have to understand that we are counting, or we are marking 1,000 days of the Hamas massacre on 7th of October 23. But if we mention the war that we are fighting today is a war that lasts for more than 140 years. Too many battles, too many military campaigns, too many operations, but it is only one war. It is very, very important to understand, because otherwise you think that, before before the massacre, we didn't have war, or we even we understood something about peace. No, this is not the reality in Israel. All what I'm going to say is that after so many years of war, Israelis, in a way, we are used to understand that there is no other opportunity. Our political leaders are trying to explain us, and this is what Netanyahu is saying. By the way, in his case, it is the only way for him to survive in power, because he needs a war, he needs external enemy in order to survive in power, because his coalition is led by a very small minority, about 10% of the Israeli people, who believe in eternal war. And but this do not represent the Israeli people. Now, why it is important?
Okay.
Because from the first day after the 7th of October, Netanyahu refused to speak. He refused to discuss the very simple concept of the day later. When we say the day later, what will be the reality after the war? Now, it was not a mistake, and nobody forgot it. He did it, because he understands that the moment that he will put on the table the simple question, what do we want to be in 10 years, in 20 years, or in 40 years from today, his coalition will collapse. And this is something that he is, in a way, sacrificing the future of Israel by not trying to discuss how to win the war. There is no way to win the war by the use of military power alone. And this is what he's trying to do in Lebanon, in Gaza, in Iran, in everywhere.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Because it's clear that that's true, that what you just said is true. Therefore, does he not have the perfect partner in Donald Trump, who wants to and is encouraging him to end the war in Lebanon, to get mutual security between Israel and all the people and the proxies, etc., who are around? Do you believe that this is an opportunity that Netanyahu should grab? And do you think the people of Israel believe that with Donald Trump backing a peace deal in the region, that this is the one best chance?
Look, I don't think that Netanyahu will look for any opportunity that will have to for him to mention the concept of peace or political agreement. Again, because of political or personal reasons. But if you ask me about the role of the international community, yes, I think that there is a major role because to explain the war of today. It's in the academia we call it intractable conflict. We are not fighting only for territory or resources. In a way, we are fighting, and in the background there is a collective narratives, religion, nationalism, and identity, and these wars can last hundreds of years. We saw it during the history. There is only two ways to end this type of conflict. One is the two sides are exhausted. It will not happen in our case because the two sides see it as existential, and the gap of power between Israel and the Palestinians in this case, we shall go on forever until probably the collapse from the economic point of view or whatever. So the other option, the other alternative is interference of the international community. We saw it in many cases in South Africa, in Ireland, in many places. And in this case, yes, the international community has a major, major role. And I'm optimistic, by the way, not because I have hope to see a change in our government, although I believe that we shall change our government after the elections. But we shall need more because today, after the 7th of October, and after the massacre, and after the horror that we saw, I think that Netanyahu represents many people who wish or dream to see Israel as a Jewish democracy, but they do not believe. We lost hope and we lost confidence. So to create confidence is a major, major issue. And I think that the only way to do it is by the international community that has interest. It's the first time, by the way, after the 30 years, that it is not a small conflict between Israelis and Palestinians. It is a major regional conflict that creates a great impact on the global stability.
Okay. All right. Ami Ayalon, thank you very much for that view.